this one zone is that when you look in the back, there's room. How many of y'all saw that before?
Oh, yeah.
How many of y'all know that it's annoying when you see everybody packed in the same place when there's room? I'm going somewhere with this, y'all. Because in life, what happens is, that's the same way we act when it's in life. If you notice, when it comes to our neighborhoods, when it comes to our schools, when it comes to students, you tend to see people packed in the same place. Everybody looks like the next person. People dress like each other. Everybody want to date the same kind of person. Nobody's being different anymore. Everybody's packed, and what happens is, it becomes annoying. It becomes frustrating. Why? Because you can see a goal right over there, but everybody's stuck over here. That's why the quote I always give when I walk around and I give my son is always strive for the top in life. Because it's the bottom that's overcrowded. The bottom's got plenty of room if you want to stay there. The city is looking for y'all to fail. The city is looking for y'all not to do well. They don't know something about y'all, that there's dreams and goals and doctors and lawyers in here. I remember when I was younger and how I grew up. I grew up where my mother was on the streets. When I would go to school, you know how y'all would do mom jokes? Y'all know whoever did that for. Come on, y'all keep it real. Y'all keep it real. We family. Yeah, y'all know how you be like, your mom. I was with your mom last night. Well, when I went to school, it was true. When I was on the block, what happened was I would go to school, and the kids that I went to school with, their parents were sleeping with my mom. And I thought I was something. I had roosters on. When I come to school, they would cock-a-doodle-doo in the morning. Everybody had a name for me. I had the slacks that was so high, the girls would always yell, the flood is over. Like my man got on church slacks with ball sneaks. So they would clown me every day. And then my pop, he thought he could cut hair. Even when I would go to my grandfather's house, he'd be like, who put a bowl around your head? My pop used to hack me up, and he thought he was doing something. He'd be like, oh, them boys look fine. Oh, the kids couldn't wait for me. And then on top of that, I used to have to fight to get my parents to go buy me some actual health supplies. They would yell at me every single time, Dad, I'm out of deodorant. Why you always got to ask me at the last minute? So I would be going to school for a couple of days without deodorant on, and it just so happens that would be the magical day when a teacher want to call on me to work a problem out. Mike, could you go work the problem out in the board? So I had to stand up with my arms like this, walk up to the board, take the marker with my hands still like this, because, you know, ain't nobody want to smell that. And then I still would call myself trying to talk to girls. That wasn't good. That ain't work out so well. But I'm just saying, I'm cool. I'm saying I'm good. Yo, you stank. And they would play me. I mean, I got cheated on so many times, they stopped counting. I got cheated on about 9 times, y'all. In fact, it was this one time I went down, and I went to the movie. We were having a great time. She went up, and we were talking, and the movie that y'all can do better. I know that you can give it your all. Somebody say, I can give it my all. Say that real quick. I can give it my all.
I can give it my all.
How many of y'all consider yourself smart? Raise your hands. Some people say, I can't get up. School too early. That class too far. That test too hard. Let me tell you something. If I called you right now and said, I got $2 million for me, meet me down in Plymouth meeting, how many of y'all would show up? But then you go to class and you tell people that I'm a procrastinator. You ain't no procrastinator. It's just that certain things are not important to you. What's your why for why you want to go to college? Come on, talk to me. What's some of the things y'all want to be when y'all grow up? Let me king. His name was Dr. Howard Thurman. And he said some words that had shook me up. He said, the ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family around them. You know, sitting there before they cross over to the other side. But imagine, if you will, that you're laying on your deathbed, and staring at you are the ghosts of the dreams, the ideas, the goals, the potential, looking at you with big angry eyes, saying, we came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now, we must die with you forever. And if you die today, what goals, what dreams, what ideas, what books, what solutions, what political agendas, What fashion designs? What would die with you today? That's why Henry David Thoreau said in a moment of anguish, oh God, to get to the point of death only to realize you've never lived. You've never scraped the surface of your potential. That's why a speaker from the Bahamas said the wealthiest place on this planet is not the oil mines over in East Europe, not Africa, the diamond mines. The wealthiest place on this planet is the cemetery. In the cemetery, you'll find books never written, young people who died without tapping their potential, buildings never erected, law cases that have never been fought, all in the cemetery. And I simply come today that most of you would not only disappoint your critics, that you would disappoint the cemetery. That the undertaker would be mad because he got to come get you. Because you're emptied out. There's nothing else for you to find here. There's nothing else for you to leave behind because you spent your whole life. They say service is the rent you pay for taking up space on the earth. Rent. That's why they tell you don't do drugs. These things is not just a bunch of laws to be hating. That's why they say don't do drugs, don't sleep around, don't do these kind of things. Because there's a dream in you that you'll give up while you do that stuff. There's some unborn children that won't have parents like I did. Unborn children. And if you already are a parent, then that means your goal should really be high because you got to set an example for your children. Just because you might have had children, just because you might have messed up, don't mean that you're messed up. You're not messed up. You're greater than what you're telling people that you are. That's why you got to work on yourself. Somebody say work on yourself. Work on yourself. What's your why? Do you want that big house? Do you want that big car? Do you want to be rich? Do you want to give your family a life you didn't have? You got to have a rhyme and a reason for why you want to go to college, or you will fail. You got to get rid of these raggedy relationships we in. Oh, man. Why? Somebody give me one reason why I can't get through this.
They're not holding on to nothing.
Why can't I get through this?
It's tight.
I got what? Say again? I got what? Baggage? So I got to what? What I got to do? Y'all need to help me get there.
Drop them friends. Drop them friends.
I got to drop this off? Y'all mean to tell me I got to drop this off? Everything I have is in this bag. I got to leave it here?
Put your gym in front of you.
Can I take it with me? I can't get, because she's going to have an attitude. I don't want to fight her. Like, what I got to do?
Say excuse me. Excuse me.
All right, so
That's a
I'm gonna try. I gotta take the bag with me because it got everything with. Come on, somebody. I can't. Even if I say excuse me. All right, so I gotta put this down. I need y'all to see this. I need y'all to get this because guess what? This is our life, y'all. I need y'all to see this. This is our life. I gotta put all that behind. In order to and tell me something about this path, y'all. It's what?
It's chicken.
It's real.
It's tight.
It's tight. It's narrow. Now I could go a different way, right? But can I get to my destiny going the other way? I gotta take the what? I gotta take the. I gotta fight, y'all. I gotta fight through it. You know, I might have to be like, you know, I might have to be like Darren Sproles on the Eagles, but I got to fight through, you know, but I got to get there. And sometimes it gets tighter because then you get somebody that say, I'm not moving. Excuse me. And you say it like, nah, y'all got this one? Remember you say it 16 times, excuse me. Excuse me. And then you get another one that want to come up that say, nope. So what do most of us do?
Push. Stop.
Push.
Who stop?
Ain't this a bunch, y'all? Right. So it's all this room, but you looking at what everybody else doing. So you just, now I'm part of the problem. Now I'm part of the problem. But when I push through, when I finally make it that way, what's there? It's breathing room. It's not tight anymore. It's freedom. But I had to leave something behind to get through the path because the path was narrow. And on the narrow path that you get to your destiny, you can't take everything with you. You can't take your squad with you. You can't take raggedy relationships. If you try to meet a king or you try to meet a queen, you can't bring that ratchetness into the new relationship. And some people that get into a relationship, and I got a fight with Johnny and them did back in the day. How many of y'all have given people problems because you don't trust? Who got trust issues in here? Raise your hands. What's one of the number one reasons we have trust issues?
Because people don't know how to mess with the
Because people hurt you before, right?
lie.
So you know what your fault is? Everybody like that. It's like everybody like that, right? But how many of y'all know it's people that really want to be in your corner? Path to greatness is not here.
You're going to write where. Where, then put a forward slash or a splice or a comma and say what. And then in parentheses, I want you to write the word desire. The first thing in your goal, in your development, and going to college and being in this class and being in your family, getting in a relationship, whatever it is, you need to know what you want, right? How do you know where you're going if you don't know what you want? So your desire, you have to identify your desire, because like you talked about, if you're on the bus and you're going through the crowd, you have a destination because you're going to the end of the bus. So you need to know where you want to go or what you want out of life. Okay, so the first step in going to college is to identify why you're going to college. You do not have to go to college to be successful. You are successful right now. All of you. You know why? You got out the bed, you got dressed, success. You came to school, you're sitting here, whether you're paying attention, you're sleepy, you want to be on Instagram, success. Every day that you get up, you are a success. Every day that you don't quit, you are a success. I don't know what's going on in your families and in your household, or what you deal with your family and brothers and your mom. And I don't know. My mom was on drugs. She was in prison. I was raised by my aunt. So I don't know what you dealt with or what you're dealing with, but just know that you are successful right now. Not when you get the money. Not when you get the car. Not when you have a business. Not when you can sit with a sinner. Not when you can get up here and speak in front of a room full of people, like some of you are going to do. Not when you're a doctor. Not when you are the lawyer. Not when you are the judge. It's right now. All right? So write down where next you're going to write down. Go to number 2. You're going to write down how. This is your, put in parentheses, put the word strategy. Now I know where I want to go. I have to have a strategy. I'm going to keep using the bus scenario because I want to stay with the flow so you guys can understand it and lock it in. So now I know where I want to go, which is to the back of the bus. All right? So now I'm on the bus going to the back. The strategy is, how do I get through? And he told you to push through. And that's exactly right. You have to push through everything that tells you that you cannot make it. But guess what's the number one thing you have to push through? Who can tell me?
Yourself.
Boom. It's you. There is no one on this earth that can stop you. There is no one in your life that can stop you. Not your mother, not lack of money. I started my first business with no cash. I knew how to ask for money, so I got the cash, but I started it without my own money. No one can stop you but you. It's up to you. You don't have to go to college, but if you go, you're going to go with the intent to succeed. Not go because somebody's making you go. You're going to go with the intent that I'm doing this because this is what I want to do, and I'm going to succeed. If you don't want to go to college, you have to have a strategy what you are going to do. All right? All right, number 3, write this down, is when. You need goals. You need a deadline. You have to know when you're going to get it done. I teach my clients, I say you need 2 types of goals. You need a short-term goal and a long-term goal. The short-term goal needs to be 3 months. Your long-term goal needs to be 6 months. You need to know where you're going. You need to know when is the deadline. When do I want to be there? He told you to write, Mr. Mike told you, right? He told you to read a book. It's 1 month. So when you get that book, you have to read it every day. You have to complete that. You have the strategy, now you need a deadline. You can't waste your youth. This is the age where you make your millions. This is when you start the business. There are 13-year-old billionaires right now. And you know why? Because they decided that I got an idea, I'm important, this will work because I like it and I got what it takes. and so do every one of you. You don't need money. You need passion. You need an obsession. You know what my obsession is? It's helping people win. I love money. I love money. I love it. But my obsession, and I love food too. Okay? My obsession is helping people win. And I found that. And you're at the right age because it's in your childhood. It's back when you were 3 and 4 and 5 years old. Oh, I always wanted to be a doctor. It's not necessarily that. But it's that thing that keeps coming up that everybody asks you to do. And why everybody always asking me to help them do with this? And everybody's pulling me for this. And everybody tells me their problems. That's it. You're pinpointing your obsession. You're pinpointing your goal, your gift. You're pinpointing the thing that is going to drive you to success. So today I don't talk to you about going to college. I don't talk to you about not going to college.
I had a mission. I wanted to go to college, number one, but I also wanted to play football. So, and my grades wasn't the best. Because in high school, I wasn't focused. That's why I want to tell y'all, the main thing, I know y'all seniors, y'all applying to colleges, the main thing is focus. Have a goal, don't procrastinate. Like, thank God, you know, I went to community college. I had like a 2.0. My SATs was bad. I don't want to tell y'all. It was like 1,100 for 3 parts. Like, it was no way. I had a bunch of scholarships lined up, but D1, I wanted to go D1, but they was not going to accept it because of my grades. So I decided to go to community college route. Went over there. I excelled. I did really well. I actually had a 3.7 GPA, and then thank you. It was a big change. You know, I put in because I didn't know how to study. That's the main thing. Coming from Franklin, you know, school district for office is not the best, and I kind of took advantage of it. I wanted to be a jokester in class. Just like he said, he started in high school. Me, I didn't want to be no Kevin Hart. I don't want to be no funny man. I don't want to make that funny money because I'm not that funny. So I'm like, yo, you know what? I gotta do another one. I can laugh at that. But yeah, I was like, you know what? I want to play football. I want to do school. Went out there, you know, excelled, got a 3.7, and then like some tragedy happened. Boom, I moved back to Philly. Take a year off. You know how they say when you go to college, you take a year off. It's gonna be hard to get back. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a challenge. And I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna fall into the statistic to where I'm not gonna go back to school or I'm not gonna do nothing by myself. Like I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna be in the streets chilling. But just like you said, he ain't go to college. You don't have to go to college for me. People take separate routes. But you know, I transferred to East Stroudsburg University, where 2014, I was there. I got 2 majors: a Bachelor of Science and a Bachelor of Arts. Bachelor of Arts in Econ, Economics, and Finance. Any business major out there, you know, definitely go for it. That's definitely a good route. And it was a big change coming from a 2-year to a 4-year. You know, obviously going to do applications, FAFSA. Because I'm looking at the numbers. I'm like, all right, boom. I live on campus. I'm like, yo, how can I afford this? I'm broke. Like, what money I got to afford this? But you got FAFSA, you got finance, you got FIA, you got financial aid. There's loans out there. You got to be smart with it. Don't pull out a lot. You know, be smart with the money, and I was focused in school. You know, did just like you said, I was networking. I studied my tail off. You know, here and there I procrastinated, but procrastination, man, you want to put that aside. That person that's telling you, oh man, like, don't get up. Because once you're in high school, you have like 8 o'clock, you out here, 7:45 to what, 3:30, whatever, to 3 to 4. In college, ain't no mom or dad telling you, yo, get up, go do this, go do that. Like, you could do whatever you want. Like, it's freedom. And that's why a lot of people, I talk to a lot of freshmen coming in, because they'll come in and think it's all chicken and gravy, and then they might not come back that next semester because they flunked out. And I tell you, coming from East Stroudsburg, which is a state school, I've seen a lot of Philadelphia kids. When I say a lot, I've been there for 3 years. I see kids come in the fall semester, and they ain't come back in the spring. And that's sad, and we're the minority. Like, I hate seeing that. Like, it's not like they party every day like the other kids, but it's just that their mindset isn't there. They're not focused. They want to drink, they want to smoke, they want to. You think like you live for the moment. You don't want to live for the moment. You want to set a goal, short-term goal, long-term goal, and you want to achieve it. You know what I mean? Like, I definitely want to see, you know, the youth of Philadelphia succeed. You know, that's why I came to talk to y'all. you know, if you want to go to college route, either.
As far as economically, one class costs about $550, so you can go to CGP for 2 semesters for under $5,500 versus going to Temple, it'll cost you about $18,000, LaSalle about $40,000 a year. I know there's a lot of myths about community colleges, but it's a great opportunity for you to do your general education courses, very cost effective for you, and just take that advantage. Even if you're not sure, if you say, you know, I don't want to go to community, apply for it as a backup plan. You just never know. You should always have a backup plan. And community college can be that opportunity. So once again, this is the information about the scholarship. It's MLK.org. If you have any questions, my contact information is on the website.
I'll never forget. He said, "You're the dumbest son I got." You're the dumbest son I got. My mother, she was running the streets.
Listen, can I ask you a question? Why you say you the dumbest if you don't honor me?
I wish I knew. I wish I knew. And guess what? I grew up never knowing the answer. So why you say that? Why you say? I had no idea. My mother was a prostitute. She was on drugs. Y'all remember how they got mom jokes in school? How many of y'all remember them? They be like, "Your mom, I was with your mom." How many of y'all remember those days? So when I went to school, right? In my case, she's right. In my case, it was true. The kids that I went to school with, their parents were sleeping with my mother. So I had to go to school with that, and then on top of that, my parents wouldn't give me no money to like get beauty supplies. They would always get mad saying, "How come you come to me at the last minute?" So it was days when I had to go to school like this, because I ain't had no deodorant on. And if for some reason, the teacher would want to call on me that day to work out a problem. So I had to go up to the board and work out a problem with my hands like this. And I still thought that I could get girls, y'all. I still went up there like, "Yeah, did I talk to you?" Ew, no, you dirty. You know, everybody in school, they had Nikes, they had Jordans, they had Reeboks. You know, I had a new name. I had a new type of brand that they didn't bring out yet. I had these sneaks with roosters on them. And when I would go to school, they would cock-a-doodle-doo when I walked through the hallway. And then I had the slacks. Y'all remember the slacks? Y'all know, like the church slacks? I had the joints that was all the way up here, so the girls would always tell me the flood is over. They was like, "My man got church slacks over ball sneaks." Dang. Y'all know them socks that's not even white anymore? They was kind of brown. That's how I went to school, y'all. I had to go to school with that, but then I had to come home to hear that I was dumb. I had to hear that and come to school. Listen, I got cheated on so many times, they stopped counting. I think I broke records for cheating, y'all. It was one time I took this girl to the movies. We had a great time. We was watching it, eat popcorn, like, "Woo, this is a good movie." She wanted to go get us some more and ain't come back.
Oh, shit. Damn, that's not exposed.
And I traveled from Westchester to Philly on a 104. 45 minutes. And wound up coming home by myself. And so I didn't feel good about myself, y'all. I went to college. I wound up graduating. You know, I graduated number 3 in the class. You know, because I worked hard. I didn't care. You know, I worked hard because I knew I wanted something. So I went to college. And I went to college and I only had a trash bag and a radio. And I had a whole room to myself. But I didn't have anything in there. And when I finally got roommates, I was the type of roommate you didn't want to have. I was a dirty roommate that washed his clothes every 2 months. Because I had no money. I didn't have no support to get through college. They dropped me off and said, "Have a good 4 years." And I had to figure it out. I had to get a job at Burger King. This was around the time when Major Figures was popping. So they used to say EA to BK. You know, they used to have jokes about Burger King because I went home, I smelled like chicken and burgers every day, and I didn't have time to study because I had to get enough money to support myself. So I didn't have it good, y'all. So I know what the struggle is like. You know, y'all know the saying, "Real recognize real," right? Yeah. I didn't know what the saying was. Like I didn't know any of that. I was like the person that nobody wanted to hang around. I didn't have any friends. I didn't know what to do. I tried to commit suicide 4 times. 4 times. Somebody say 4 times.
4 times.
I tried to commit suicide 4 times because nobody came in high school to talk.